Welcome back here to What's Cooking, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, and travel show. We're talking about New York City when you hear Dean Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Barbie is here. He's the owner of Hurley's in New York City. And I'm sure, Paul, Dean Martin, the Rat Pack, they must have been into Hurley's a time or two.
Oh, I think they all were. We used to get all the celebrities from the Saturday Night Live crowd in the early days also.
Chevy Chase, Belushi, all those guys?
Belushi, some of them did
Bill
a few
Murray.
extracurricular activities in those days.
What does that mean?
But,
Don't ask what that means.
Don't ask.
Recreational indulgences along with some cocktails.
What about we mentioned our buddy, the great Ed McMahon. Now, Ed must have been a regular there when it was at NBC, because the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon started out at NBC and then moved to Burbank, but in the early days was out of New York, so he must have been a regular. Tell us about Ed.
From what I was told, him and Johnny Carson spent many an evening before and or after the shows downstairs unwinding, enjoying a few cocktails, and living it up with the rest of their cast from the show.
Did they make it to
no one ever had a bad word for those guys. They were great people and great guests in those days.
Did they make it to the studio on time for the show?
I think they needed a little coaxing once in a while if they were having too good a time downstairs.
And
they eventually made it upstairs to do some work.
Ed's son worked there for a while also, didn't he?
He worked in the sports department and used to come in frequently. Another good kid, good person. We used to have the whole sports department come down on Sundays after the football games all the time.
He worked in the sports department.
All the announcers, Paul McGuire, your good old friend O.J. Simpson, and a few of the others used to come down in those days.
Wow. Now, how is you're located now not at NBC. Now you're located exactly where?
We're on 48th Street in Midtown Manhattan, right off Broadway, in the heart of the theater district now.
Okay, so you're at the theater district.
And we've been there for almost 11 years now.
So what are you serving? Talk to us a little bit of cocktails. What are popular cocktails now? Then, martini.
We have not that you want to hear it, but we got about 35 different drafts on tap. We are a 3-level old brownstone building. We've got about a 140-foot wraparound bar on the first floor now. Second floor is all dining. Third floor, we have about a 1,000-foot square outdoor, beautiful tiki hut patio bar. But most of the people now, they're drinking craft draft beers. They're drinking a lot of bourbons and a lot of flavored vodkas. We can't hold the flavored vodkas in the house long enough.
Flavored vodkas? What's a popular?
Something Raz, something O, something with vanilla. Especially the young kids. They all like their sweet flavored drinks.
Raspberry, vanilla, gotcha. Flavored vodka's the big. What about wines? Roy, you got a question.
What about wine, Paul? Do you have a wine list there?
Oh, we do. I think the most popular one was probably a Sonoma-Cutrer Chardonnay.
That
flies out of the place on a daily basis.
Well, we were talking earlier.
The Beringers go rather well as, Chardonnay and the Cab for Beringer go nicely.
We were talking earlier about Rumbauer Chardonnay, Sonoma-Cutrer, almost an identical wine, a big, oaky, buttery wine from California, right, Paul?
That's an absolutely beautiful wine.
I like it.
When I usually go out to other restaurants, I gravitate to what I've had before and enjoyed before, and that's one of my favorites. And we go probably through 20, 25 cases a month of that stuff. It's we buy the glass, buy the bottle, and people love it.
Paul Barbie is the owner of Hurley's in New York City. So what's on the menu now? You mentioned, and we've talked to Manhattan Saloon, and you're talking about more cafe fares. You talked hamburgers. What else on the menu?
Oh, we have light fare, obviously. We have burgers, salads, some pastas. We have a fair amount of steaks, seafood, veal. We have a nice filet mignon. We have a prime New York sirloin steak. We do ribeyes, salmon, swordfish, grilled tuna,
Would there be anything?
Everything.
Would there be anything, Paul, that if somebody was coming in that you would recommend off the menu? I don't know if you'd call it a signature dish, but
I'm personally a fan of a nice black and blue filet mignon. But
what does black and blue mean for those out there that might not know?
It's seared and charred on the outside, where it's nicely cooked, and inside it's room temperature and pretty much extra rare.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And it's talk about buttery. A nice fillet, when you cut into it and bite it, it's juicy, mouth-watering, and it's the way to go, The people that come in and order the nice steaks well done, I really don't have much patience for them, but I guess I have to serve them.
Paul, when I'm in the theater district, I'm always a little bit frustrated because I'm either trying to eat right before the show and I'm in a big hurry, or I wait till after the show and then a lot of the places have closed down. Do you do anything special for theater patrons?
Oh, we we serve, our kitchen's open till 2 in the morning. We serve a lot to the theater actors and theater clientele themselves on a nightly basis. You know, we give them private space, private rooms upstairs, if that's what you're referring to.
What's your website there so we can check it out on the web for the for Hurley's in New York City? Paul Barbie's the owner. What's the website?
Our website is www.hurleys, HurleysNYC.com. HurleysNYC.com. We're going to check it out. We're there on our next trip, Paul. We're going to call you and tell you when we're heading out. I would look forward to entertaining you fine people and having a nice bottle of wine and a couple of good steaks with you guys.
Sounds great. We're looking forward to it. Hurley's, a tradition in New York City. Straight ahead, more on CRN Digital Talk Radio. It's the What's Cooking Show.